Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything, drawing every country's flag in the world. And today, we're going to be going back to Africa, and we're going to be doing Somalia. So Somalia sits kind of right over here in the Horn of Africa. The natives developed a close relationship with the Persians and the Arab Muslims in the area that came to that area for trade. And so we're just going to start with the flag. It's a pretty simple one. It's just a star in the middle of a blue flag. And that's how Somalia pretty much got introduced to other powers. And then later on, during like the Scramble for Africa period, Somalia fell under both British and Italian influence. The Brits and the Italians both had a Somaliland, and then during the independence movements of Africa in the 1960s, Somalia became its own state in 1960 to be exact. Alright, so I'm just going to draw the flag here first, or the star in the flag. Just want to get my borders in. Then I'll just go ahead and erase those grid lines because Somalia is real simple, so just want to make sure I get that star right. Okay, and then just gonna take my eraser, just kind of get rid of those grid lines, and that is pretty much it as far as Somalia goes. So I'm just gonna color the rest of that in. Just hit off my borders here. And James, you just did on page 1 of your Draws Everything series, you had red and white flags going all the way down the left hand side, and as you can see, Israel's right on top of Somalia here. Do you plan on doing blue and white color schemes for this one? And you know what, I actually did not plan it that way, but I'm thinking about it. I don't know who else is blue and white off the top of my head. Obviously Finland, which we already did. Finland a darker blue, but you have to check my plans here and see if I can maybe work that out again. We'll see. And so as I'm coloring this in, just do a little bit more on the history of Somalia. James, what can you tell us about Somalia post-independence in 1960? Well, if I had to be trapped in any country, for whatever reason, Somalia is probably bottom on the list of countries that I would want to be in. So yes, sorry Somalia, but again, sorry for this project. I'm going to be kicked out of another country, not welcome there anymore after this video, but I would not want to be in Somalia under any circumstances whatsoever. So again, they achieved independence in 1960, and then almost immediately after that, in I believe the mid-60s, they had a communist coup under Siad Barre. With Africa, if you were around in the 80s and 90s, you remember the Starving Africa videos and stuff, which are kind of misleading because Africa has very plentiful natural resources and there's really no reason why they should be starving. They kind of tricked you into believing it was because of, they live in deserts or whatever, but no, it's during the Cold War, a lot of African countries went communist, and when that happens, you lose all of your food. They couldn't produce food anymore, and there's a lot of Soviet influence in that region, and there's a lot of anti-imperialist sentiment too, which it is what it is, but the communists, when they were fighting with the capitalist powers, they always cloaked anti-imperialism in like a banner of freedom and stuff. And Somalia was no different. So they suffered under communism for decades, still suffering today, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what happened. Constant military coups. They had the Black Hawk Down incident in the 90s when they went, the Americans went in to try and restore order to the country, and that kind of failed. And yeah, it's basically a failed state ever since. No desire to be there whatsoever. And I'm just erasing my grid lines here. And the Somalian flag actually looks a lot like the flag of Minnesota. That's kind of weird, right? Yeah. Speaking of weird, the current the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic ticket was governor when they changed the flag. Big Somalian presidents in Minnesota too. Coincidence? I don't know. And they say J.D. Vance is weird, but yeah. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm not welcome in Somalia anymore, am I? And I will see you on the next video.